Richard tends to oppose. Gloria tends to support. Black Agate tends to oppose. Uzo, neutral.
The situation doesn't look good.
Do you have any news, Mark?
Someone is spreading the minutes of your last meeting. I didn't get any direct evidence, but apparently every voter has read the anonymous minutes. The topic about Vertin. It has become a great disadvantage to us.
Double envelopment. A 4-4.00 approach. No wonder that the draft goes through so easily. To reject the draft during the committee meeting does not actually address the real problem. The House of Intergrades can still resubmit the draft during the next legislative session. So she is planning for the long term. To bring it down in the voting stage and make it a plan that is totally abandoned.
I'm afraid so. A draft that has failed to win votes can hardly win the trust of the House's reviewers again. And of course, it won't be submitted to the committee.
Did anyone make any actual move yet?
Not yet. The minutes only changed their preferences, but the number of those who have taken a stand still remains the same.
Just as I expected. This draft is not about Vertin, but a promise to the future, about how to balance the benefits between different interest groups. To reach that, we need to meet the expectations of those groups who have a need for flexible management, and also appease conservatives and not shake their confidence in controlling the overall situation.
Actually, we do have an opportunity to change the game now.
Opportunity.
I hereby challenge Delegate Mark Hall to a public debate on the revised draft of Storm Reformation, Manpower, and Discipline. This draft of his will bring unpredictable risks to the Foundation, yet Mark himself seems completely unaware of it. I believe it is necessary to make such risks public in a legal way.
See, I knew they were going to escalate Burton's issue.
You want to accept this challenge?
All the internal media are reporting the news. If I step back, they will definitely humiliate me and take advantage of the public opinion to undermine the draft.
Mark, that's a menacing move. It is coming for us. No matter fight or flight, they have comprehensive preparation for this. I would suggest taking the long view and not jumping to conclusions.
But defense without attack will never bring us victory, Madam Z. I've always wanted an opportunity to defend the draft in public. Concerning the questions they implied about Vertin, I've collected more than enough cases to refute them. Misleading questions twist people's opinions. It's time to tell them the truth.
You have accepted it. Was it in front of the media?
I was there when Pedra challenged me. So were the media. Well, I don't think it's going to be a complete mistake.
It is a crucial debate. Do your best.
You don't have to come along with me. I'm here to repel the pests in the woods. It's part of my daily routine.
Thank you for your kindness, Miss Druvis. It is fun to stay in Miss Burton's suitcase, but I really feel like seeing the world out there. By the way, the pests you mentioned, what are they? I've heard of a kind of giant worm called the tatzelworm. They live in caves, about 2 to 5 feet long, and their heads are like cats. Be very careful if you see one. Both its skin and breath are toxic.
I have never heard of such a terrible worm. Hopefully we will not encounter any.
So, what are we disinfesting this time?
Oak processionary moths. Perhaps a few gray squirrel cubs. It's not enough to only rely on potions and arcanum to keep the woods in peace. Oak trees reside here, and everything will change with it. Animals that live in symbiosis, fungi that depend on each other. All of them will embrace diversity by the day.
Do you mean that? A group of grey fluffers flying over there.
A swarm of oak processionary moths. They are preying on something.
Miss Druvis, let's help out right away!
For the accident.
This apple is deeply grateful for what you've done. I almost thought I was caught in a nightmare. This apple has never seen so many moths. Ugh, this apple is going to have PTSD from insects.
They are very sensitive to the scent of sap. With all due respect, even among all the plants, Mr. Apple is quite attractive to insects.
So it was the scent that attracted them. No wonder Mr. Apple's invisibility didn't work. Thank goodness we're here.
Mr. Apple, did you find out anything?
Yes, Miss Druvis. I brought something insignificant. As we planned earlier, I disguised myself and reached the office building next to us. There is a device to detect arcane power at the entrance. However, this apple pried out what we needed from the guards.
What is it? Did Miss Burton win on that voting list?
Sadly, not yet. It's not time for a formal vote. Everyone is cautious and remains neutral. Apart from that, there are some rumors in the Foundation. They are not very favorable to Vertin.
Rumors. It sounds as though the situation that Madame Z handles is more complicated and volatile than I thought. However, the votes have not been lopsided under such bad circumstances. Perhaps that means the Arcanists who share our aspirations are not in the minority.
That said, I'm afraid we are starting a protracted war, Miss Druvis.
Yes, I know. I've taken inventory of the supplies. We can still hang in there for 4 weeks and a half. Although they have cut off the water and electricity supplies in the building, we can still live on the resources in the suitcase for a while. There are fewer guards destroying the woods, probably because the abbess works.
What worries this apple is that if the procedure to finalize the draft takes more than 4 weeks and a half, we would
then survive by gradually shrinking our territory until Madame Z's draft is officially approved. We have chosen the thorny trail, and so we are destined to burn our boats and never look back. Vertin. She is worth fighting for.
For this point, Captain and this apple have absolutely no disagreement. Then this apple will keep scouting around for updates so that we could respond in time.
What are you looking at, Miss Sotheby?
Over there. It feels like someone is staring at us.
Let's go back. To the deep woods.
Isn't that scarf a bit too high profile?
I think it fits me just well. You chose a grey shirt. Wise decision.
Looks like you're fully prepared.
Ladies and gentlemen, allow me to introduce the first debater of the day, Pedro Paul Gonzalez Reyes. Graduated from the law school at the University of Sao Paulo, he is a member of the committee and, more importantly, the challenger of the debate. The other debater of the day is the delegate of the House of Integralis, Mark Hall. Over the past 10 years, he has served the Foundation by drafting countless acts and conventions. The topic of the debate today, storm reformation. Manpower and discipline is exactly a work of his.
All right, both sides are seated. Before we start the debate officially, I suggest we give Mark, the draft writer, an opportunity to introduce the draft. Would you please, Mark?
With pleasure. Storm Reformation and its advocates believe in such a goal. In this ever-changing environment smitten by the storm, this draft will help the Foundation win the trust of a considerable number of arcanists who have different backgrounds and abilities in a more efficient and stable way.
That is exactly where I must raise an objection. The draft has a huge risk which Mark Hall has not realized at all.
No, sir. I totally understand what you're trying to say. You have put forward several questionable arguments to prove Verton's suspicion of disloyalty. In response to that, please allow me to invoke the following cases to prove Verton's competence for leading the unregistered arcanists. Please turn to page 373 of Verton's personnel file. As you can see, since Verton became the timekeeper, the number of unregistered arcanists she has rescued so far is 63. That is a number unmatched by that of anyone present. If that's not enough to prove her loyalty, let's continue.
I have to say, Mark, you have completely misunderstood my point of view. I don't care what Verton has done, but the feasibility of the draft. According to the existing regulations, the duties of educating and disciplining unregistered arcanists are taken by the School of Discipline. While you suggested in the draft that Timekeeper's personal teaching would replace the current collective training. Have you ever thought about the budget that we could possibly spend on it? The Foundation spends an alarming sum of money on education every year, and there is no way we pay extra for personal training.
Oh, what budget? I don't see why we're talking about budget all of a sudden. Did you really read the draft? I didn't mention a word about budget.
Of course you didn't, which exactly proves you have never realized the risk I just mentioned.
Oh, it seems the real topic of the debate has just surfaced. I believe everyone in the hall is looking forward to where it goes. So, Mark, in terms of this point, we would like to know your real thoughts.
The Blackstone is left there alone. The last move is also a defense in panic. If I were the player, What is it?
Seneto asked me to give it to you personally.
Dear Madam Z, with this letter, I send you my best regards. I have been instructed to manage affairs on behalf of Timekeeper during her treatment. Please let me know if there are any missions to alleviate the situation. I will do my best to meet your expectations. Sincerely, Seneto.
Good news.
Oh, you're also here?
Yes. I am taking combat drills with the artificial somnambulism training system.
"6 hours? I'm not the only one goofing around.
No, I'm not. I am not goofing around. I am waiting for orders.
Well, much luckier than me. I have so many things to be. Bit Baklushe. Have you heard it? Literally me. I should have turned down the offer when they promoted me to the Foundation headquarters. They don't have any field missions for a flying witch.
Is it because of the provisions of talent protection?
Only God knows. House arrest may be a better name. Look, since we're both bored to death, do you want to have a try at some difficult things?
What is it?
This. Have you tried the artificial somnambulism joint training? Put on the helmet together and switch to multiplayer mode. 2 operators can take on a harder training mode. More insane enemies! Like playing in the arcade.
Okay. Shall I turn this red knob? What is an arcade?
What did you say? I can't hear you with my helmet on. Ooh, nice controller. Хорошо. I'm entering the zone now. been a long time. Why not have some fun?
The light is flashing. What did you press?
I switched to the hardest mode. You better get it together.
Wait!
Don't fail me, top student.
I am exhausted.
Almost joking.
I haven't had so much fun for centuries. How many times did we die?
Sorry, I cannot do math now. My mind goes blank.
Who would expect the Sonetto would have a brain fade? Have you heard the result of the debate?
I heard that. The number of people opposing the draft significantly increased after the debate.
It's not going well. Soon will be the voting session. The opposition has taken the lead.
I hope Miss Druvis can hold out.
You visited them?
I submitted a request to enter that building. The system arranged guards to accompany me to ensure my safety. The moment they entered the building, they started sawing the trees, saying that they need to carve out the path. Since then, I have not been there.
4.5 weeks. After that, they can't hold on for any longer.
Really? In that case, the vote result has to come out before that.
Hi, may the peace be with us.
Hello. May the peace be with us.
Do you mind giving us some privacy?
Do whatever you like.
Here is Madame Z's message. Please visit her in the office on Friday.
Ah, okay. Copy that. Thank you for the message.
With pleasure. Wish you a good day.
Are you leaving?
Yes. Do you know how the penalties for destruction of public property of the Foundation and Brawl are determined?
Huh? Well, according to measures of the Foundation for Administrative Penalties, based on the severity of the circumstances, fines will be imposed and the offender's salaries shall be deducted accordingly in minor cases, while detention or expulsion shall be imposed in major cases. The penalty also depends on what is damaged. For example, production tools, household goods, buildings, equipment, and facilities, etc. These are the properties that involve less cost and limited influence if damaged. If the number of people involved in a brawl is equal to or less than 8, and there are no major casualties, the penalty will be minor. May I ask what happened? Why are you asking this all of a sudden?
Nothing. As I said, bored to death. So bored that I have been paying attention to the Foundation's regulations. Even the flying manuals failed to win this much of my attention. So long, Sonetto. Hopefully there's good news for us next time I see you.
We are falling behind even further. A vote or two won't help us turn this around.
I know. The move to deny was indeed useless.
The arcanists that were on our side have defected. I misjudged the situation in the debate. I was going to seize the opportunity and the initiative.
To seize the initiative may bring us the chance. That is to say, don't pull back, don't jump, even when they're attacking. But to focus on the bigger picture, to win strong positions. The black took care. Then the white Hane. And the black counter Hane here. The white stand. The black Osae. Through these moves, I see. The move to D11 can save us more than 10 Mukov stones. We can still win within 10 moves. Mark.
Yes? Are there any other things we can do?
We need an influencer, a leader who can win us more than 10 votes. Give me the file of the uncommitted leaders, including those who were neutral about this issue in the beginning.
Okay. Boss.
No. Too young to be convincing.
Noni, head of the Natural Resource Committee?
There are only 3 of them in the group.
Senator Bernard, leader of the Mankind Caucus. Forget.
Bernard? Oh, yes. He can be your man. He is eloquent and leads a group of 11. All of the 11 are his loyal followers. Why is he uncommitted? I thought he would be the first to vote.
Perhaps they believe it's a sure bet.
Find out what he's been up to.
But, Madam Z, are you sure you want to cooperate with him? This doesn't make any sense. We don't even serve the same group.
Mark, we're all serving for the Foundation's future. I just want to know what he needs now.
The office in Chicago, US. He is trying to cover that region with his influence. Bernard believes the employees there are guilty of serious dereliction of duty. They discriminate against humans of different classes and are suspected of committing electoral fraud in collusion with the local capitals. The Supreme Court's investigators have already intervened. But they cannot go out due to the storm right now, so the case is pending investigation.
Chicago office. I've read the reports on there. I see. Great. Exactly what we can help with.
Through what?
Through Soneto. I have a meeting with her on Friday. This may lead us to a win-win situation.